Alright, so this is the process I use for getting a Matterport into Xactimate. So I've got the Matterport here. First thing I do is I make it full screen. I want to have as big of a copy of the original as I can get. So I zoom in as much as I can where I can still see the whole thing. And then come up here to settings and hide the walls. You can leave the walls, but if you hide them, it's you don't have to mess with the walls quite as much. And that's kind of a personal preference thing. Then you hit Alt Print Screen to take a screenshot of it. And I'm not going to show this on your screen, but you want to, because I don't have this one set up on my recording software. But you want to save that screenshot. When you hit Alt Print Screen, it puts it into the clipboard. You have to open up a Paint or some other image processing software, paste that screenshot in there, and then save it as a file. And I always just save it as untitled PNG in my documents, because I don't intend to use this for anything past the next 5 minutes. And untitled PNG is kind of the default name. All right, so now I'm going to switch the recording over to Xactimate and show you what we do from there. So first we go into, here, I was already there. So you bring up your Xactimate sketches like this. Go to Options, Import Underlay Image, and there's my untitled PNG. I maximize this, and I'm looking for a wall that is 1 corner to corner and reasonably sized based on the size of the sketch. I'm going to use this one in the bedroom like we talked about. I zoom in as much as possible so that it's filling as much of the screen. And the next thing I need to do is come back to Matterport and get the dimensions. So we turn the walls back on, and you can see that wall's 15 foot 8 inches. All right, so back to Xactimate. You click here, click the other end of the wall, put in 15 foot 8, hit OK, hit OK again, and now we've got our underlay image. When I'm doing using an underlay image, I like to be first of all, I like to turn off all the search bar and the items because I'm just working on the sketch. You do that by hitting Shift Enter, and then I like to turn on outline only mode, which is right here, or you can hit Shift O. And what I'll show you the difference between that. So sorry about that. This is outline only mode, and that's not outline only mode. When you're working with a underlay image, I like to have outline only mode so I can see what I'm working on. And now we just start setting the rooms up. I'm hitting V, by the way, if you're not familiar with that, to add corners. It's a hotkey that just adds a corner in a wall. And if you're not familiar with this one, if you have a wall selected, hold Control and grab the handle. It'll create a new room with that wall, like that. I use hotkeys as much as possible. It saves time. B for a square break. And one thing you got to remember is we're kind of going in the middle of the wall. So like when you have this area right here, you want to go to the middle of that. One more thing here, we've got an arced wall here, so I create a 45, change it to arced, and now when I drag it, instead of moving the wall, it'll make it curved. And then you just kind of go through and finish making all your rooms. Uh, when I have a place like this, what I'll usually do is just hit Shift W to create a wall and do that, and it'll create the room. Same for right here where this closet is. And there we go. We've got the basic room set up.